You're aware they fought 500 years ago, right? Oogway and Kai.
Sure.
Do you know, like, they were, like, highly relative? Like, it stated they shook the world, and from the scenes we saw, they were going toe-to-toe until, obviously, Oogway eventually won.
You can show me whatever you're referencing, sure.
Yeah. Going in BT scans.
Yeah, Gizbob lost, but like, what difficulty was it?
Oh, when you're terrible. Shut up.
And you
Let's see if I can see the fight. Is the fight like towards the end of this clip or?
I think it's like a minute in.
Oh, I must already be past it. Let me look.
Yeah, it states it shook the world, and then they were going like blow for blow with each other until Oogway won.
Yeah, what's the timestamp? I do not see them fighting at all.
You know, hold on.
I see them beating people up together.
140.
Sweet. I'll go there.
Yeah, he even says finally, like indicating it was like it was a drawn out fight, like showing they were relative even further.
I don't think the length of a fight is going to be indicative of any level of relativity. So I don't know how I feel about that argument, but let me get to that part where they clash or whatever.
Cool.
What here do you think is indicative of relativity?
Because they go blow for blow and they shake the earth.
I see Oogway dodging a bunch of attacks and then Kai blocking one. I don't think that's going to be any case for relativity there.
Let me check the timestamp again.
Yeah, you can look through it.
So no, you see them clash, and yet you see multiple attacks where they land. They just block each other.
Where's the clash? And you can show me any feats that you think can benefit Kai.
It's the beginning here. Hold on.
I see them both charge at each other. I don't see the clash, but
right here. Oh, they both charge each other, and then they clash at the same time, meaning they can both react to each other, and neither one is overpowering the other. Yeah, and then like this is showing multiple times they're both dodging each other, right? And then it's kind of like it's kind of like a summary of the fight, if that makes sense, because it was long. It was like drawn out, as Oogway like implied, and that means it would have taken a long period of time.
Yeah, I'm fine with them being comparable here. Where are you going from here?
I'd say here, Kai got stronger as he was in 500 years. He went on in Spirit Round where he got stronger and he took the chi of all the strongest warriors, whereas Oogway didn't really do much from here at all.
Stated he trained for 30 years.
It stated he trained for the whole 500 years and he took the chi of all the warriors.
Yeah, what I'm saying is stated Oogway trained as well, so I don't know what your basis is going to be.
Yeah, okay, but like I'm saying in this wait, can you send proof he trained for 30 years, please? I actually didn't see that.
Nani, bro, you got that? You got that shot? I know you got the scans, bro.
Literally in the clip I sent you, bro. Literally watch the clip, Gizbob.
The one you sent me?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Most recent one?
It says in the when he's talking about Oogway, when he was talking about Oogway, he went on to train 30 years or to achieve inner something for 30 years in a secluded cave.
Yeah, so he was grinding his chi, bro. What a goat.
He is the
Where? Okay, so
I don't know
okay,
where
yeah,
it is
okay.
for the 30 years thing, but it's somewhere in there.
Okay, let me watch through this then.
Word. I can kind of speed through it and see if I can find it. Oh, never mind. It doesn't have subtitles. I'm not going to be able to hear it.
It does have subtitles when they actually talk. Like I think someone added them in the clip.
I just see the Japanese subtitles, or did I send the wrong clip? Oh, I see. See what you're talking about. It's only on one part.
Pieces. You just unroll it all at once. I'm an ambition.
Okay, so it said he sat alone on a cave for 30 years and he achieved like inner peace, but I don't see how this would like amp him at all. Unlike Kai, who was absorbing chi and it was used for it was beneficial to his combat ability, not just inner peace. And Oogway states this. So
Yeah, inner peace is going to be something akin to enlightenment, which is going to lead to greater control of chi. It's going to have a great impact on his mastery of chi. Mastery of chi seems to be more valued than quantity of chi as well. Since people in Kung Fu Panda are trained to master their chi as opposed to gain more chi. So it seems like mastery is far more important than quantity.
yeah, no, like Kai trained for 500 years though, and as long with training for 500 years, he took more chi. So like logically, he's going to gain more strength, right? Like a lot more strength.
Even if you want to say he took chi, if his method of training is less effective, then how can you say that he got stronger than Oogway did? I don't know what basis you've had for that.
Because it was more than 15 times the length, and also to take the chi, you'd also have to learn chi yourself. Like what you're saying, like Oogway took 30 years to master said ability, but that ability is the same Kai is using to take the chi, so he has that ability too, along with just more chi and more training.
They both already knew chi. My point is that Oogway has a greater level of mastery, and what he focused on was mastery as opposed to quantity. Unless you can give me a quantifier for the distinction between the two to show me that the amount of time that Kai had, or like the greater amount of time that he had, is going to be significant or lead to him being stronger than Oogway, then I don't think it matters at all.
Yeah, no, like what I'm trying to say is like the logical assumption to make here is he's trained for way longer. He's took more ability along with training himself. It's kind of you who has to quantify why the more effective training would be more quantifiably above Oogway, right? I don't know why I'd have to prove
You're
that.
on the affirmative. That's going to be the issue here. I can give you some sort of analogy if you want. If you train for 500 years doing a push-up a day, and I'm grinding out fucking lifts for 2 hours a day for 30 years, who's going to have a better physique? Probably not you.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying that there's no way to distinct the training apart. Like you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's going to be your burden. Again,
yeah, no, but
you're claiming that I grew further than Oogway grew. I'm asking you to justify that. You're not providing sufficient justification. So if you think you have, we can move on.
All right. So first of all, I don't see the growth like Oogway's getting from sitting on a cave in 30 years. I don't also see why the mastery of chi is more effective than absorbing chi and just overall getting stronger. Like I
already went over those two things. I already went over both of them.
Can you repeat that then? Because I'm not really entirely sure of what you actually said.
Sure. Which part do you want me to go over? Why mastery of chi is going to be more effective, or
why
more effective in a greater quantity of chi?
Why Oogway's training would be more effective than Kai's? Because that's the thing in question.
Well, yeah, mastery of chi is what every character in Kung Fu Panda focuses on. They focus on mastering their chi as opposed to gaining more chi, meaning mastery is likely more effective. If they're trying to get strong and they focus on mastery as opposed to adding to their quantity, then mastery has a bigger effect.
Okay, so you realize he beat every single master in the thingy, right? Like, do you not think gaining more chi and the chi that he has would also have mastery over such? Like, it's never really stated how much stronger Oogway made his chi. Like, Just that he could achieve inner peace, which
Well-
isn't even relevant to combat ability. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
If it's relevant to chi control, it's relevant to combat ability. So by proxy, it is.
Okay, but by Oogway is training his chi in a different form. He's training it to achieve inner peace, which is, like, has nothing to do with combat ability. That doesn't mean it would derive into combat ability. Like, just because he's
To
doing it for
achieve
like
inner peace, you need a greater mastery of chi, then that's going to have a 1-to-1 effect on your combat ability. Somebody who has more mastery of chi is going to be more effective in combat than somebody that does not. No, we can move on, bro.
Yeah, no, we can. Do you want to get this judged?
Yeah.
Go on.
Is Sakazuki here, bro?
Yeah.
Actually, can I add one more thing? Just like really like.
Yeah, you can add whatever response you want. And I'll see if I need to get into it.
Yeah, no, like what I'm trying to like. What I was trying to say was, like, you're kind of presupposing chi is like in combat. It's used in combat and it's always in use of combat. Because like, whereas Kai is absorbing
the power system of the verse. Yes, I'm presupposing it's used in combat. Like what?
It's that's what I'm saying. And there can be other uses. Like, it doesn't have to only be used in combat. Kai, he's absorbing chi, which is life energy, in use of combat. Oogway has never been said to be able to train it for that reason. Like, there could be different forms of chi. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're presupposing he trained for the combat
There's
combat
not
reason.
different forms of chi. There's going to be different purposes for which you use chi. But again, mastery is going to be applicable in all these cases. I already went over it. So
okay, so I'm asking you to prove why the chi has to be always, like, they have to connect. Like, him training it for reasons other than combat ability. I'm asking you to prove why that would derive into his combat ability.
I've gone over that twice now. It's going to lead to an increase in mastery of chi.
I don't think you have.
Correlation with combat. It's even stated to have an effect on combat. That's why Shifu views Oogway as superior, because he mastered chi, superior in a combat sense. So we can move on.
Does he say in a combat sense?
Are we gonna like be dishonest and go against the entire portrayal of the series, or do you want me to like look for it?
I'm not being dishonest. I'm just asking you to prove the way Oogway trained. Oogway trained in a way to achieve inner peace, not combat ability, because chi can be used for other things, and that's said. So I don't think I'm being dishonest at all. I'm asking you to prove your claim, which was Oogway's former training made him stronger, not just achieve what he wanted.
Yeah, you realize in the clip that I sent you, it just says that great power awaits Po via the mastery of chi. So the mastery of chi has a correlation to great power, and he uses Oogway as some sort of a reference point for that idea. So it's very consistent.
Yeah. Great power in what sense? Also,
are we being dead? Do you want me to get the denotation? Are we being dead ass? I don't. What do you think power means?
And you realize
you think it's political power? Like, what do you think it is? In a martial arts series, you're gonna tell me it's power and it's not. It doesn't have a relation to combat.
He can grow power in the sense of like being able to do new things that you wouldn't be able to do without chi. That doesn't mean it'd help him in combat. So Shifu's example of this is a bloom in a flower, but that doesn't have to. That wouldn't help in a fight. That's what I'm saying. Like, you haven't proved. You're yet to prove to me that if this is useful to Oogway in combat. Like, the chi getting stronger doesn't mean the techniques build. Like, I don't see proof of that.
If the mastery of chi grants you great power, and the context behind the entirety of the series is martial arts, and that great power is being used in a martial arts sense, and mastery of chi is going to correlate to your ability to fight. It's going to have a major influence on that, major impact.
The narrative of the series is portraying chi. That's only in the third movie. The first two was literally just martial arts. Like I'm trying to like. I'm not yet getting what you're trying to prove, like, at all, because
what part's unclear?
What'd you say? Sorry, I didn't even hear you.
What part is unclear?
I don't see how you're trying to I'm fucking up, bro. I can't even think. I don't see how you're trying to link this to combat ability.
I feel like I've gone over that like 5 times. If you don't see the connection, just leave it up to the judge.
Yeah, no, because what I'm trying to say is the great power thing just leads open to new things, right? Like it doesn't
Well,
have
those
to
new
mean.
things are going to have an impact on your combat ability if power is being used in a combat sense, and I already gave you rationale for that.
Okay, no, the potency of chi, like how much chi can grow doesn't mean it can be used in combat. That's what I'm saying. Like he can't utilize it in the way he wants to. Like you have to prove that.
What?
It's
I already justified that. I
it's
already
it's
justified that
not
it has an
no.
influence on combat.
Never. And also, it's also more logical to like conclude on the fact people training for 500 years and not only getting stronger but absorbing other people's power would literally just make them stronger than someone who just trained for 30 years. But we can conclude now.
Yeah,
if you
I
want.
already put that in the question. So yeah, we can get judgment on this point. That's fine. Sakazuki,
Yeah,
you
go
listening?
Yeah, I just want to summarize your points real quick. Just give like
Yeah, Skat
brief
can go ahead and go over his, and I'll go after. Because I'm pretty bad at giving conclusions.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, I tried. We basically went over the fact the the potency of tree like this is what I'm getting right. The potency of chi can increase, but it doesn't necessarily mean he has to utilize it. And he would need to prove that, which I'm not really like getting that. I'm not getting that at all. And then it's just more logical for us to say a person who trained for 500 years, like against kung fu masters and absorbed them, would be stronger than someone who's only trained for 30 years. That's it.
All right. So I'll kind of get into what we went over. His initial claim or sort of assertion was that Kai and Oogway were relative 500 years ago. Kai grew more than Oogway, so Kai should be stronger. What I questioned was if Kai really did grow stronger than Oogway, because their methods of training were entirely different. And Oogway's, I gave rationale as to why it would be superior method of training generally. His chi mastery seems to be a lot more impactful than chi quantity. And then we just kind of got into if chi mastery has a correlation to combat. He said it did, is it's stated to grant somebody great power. And Oogway's kind of uses the reference case for that, meaning what Oogway did would grant somebody great power. So it should have an influence on his combat ability. Pretty simple. That's all we really went over.
Okay, so Gizbob, I have a question for you real quick.
Mhm.
So, first, can you just sort of clarify, like, how you were saying that, what's it called, that Oogway's way of training was more impactful? Like, can you, like, clarify that real quick?
Yeah. So essentially what Oogway did was he trained to master his chi, while Kai trained to gain more chi.
All right,
So
okay. So,
the sort of disparity there is going to be characters in Kung Fu Panda with the goal to get stronger always train to master their chi as opposed to gaining more chi, which to me would indicate that it's likely that the mastery of chi is a lot more impactful on your combat ability.
okay, and then second, so his whole thing, from my understanding, especially from his conclusion, because it was a lot more clear during his conclusion than it was while he was arguing, but he was basically putting into question, right? He was not necessarily disagreeing the fact that, okay, your chi can increase in potency, right? And that Oogway, through this 30 years of training, increased the potency of his chi. But he was asking you how you're able to assert that, okay, this would now correlate to his techniques and his abilities. How'd you answer that question?
Oh, I just said that the method of training Oogway used was stated to grant great power. Shifu says that
But he
great
put
power
that into
awaits Po if
question.
he
No,
follows that same method.
he put that into question too, though. He asked, okay, so why is this power, right? This idea of power, right? Because your chi, right? It can give you different things of power. That's his whole point, that it can just possibly give you these different forms of power. And he's asking you why it's necessarily combative strength. So you sort of saying, okay, well, this chi just gives me, chi like correlates to combat strength, and he grew this in potency, so it's going to correlate to the techniques, is basically just begging question, because that's what he's putting into question, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm misunderstanding your point or what you
My
are.
bad. I was talking to somebody real quick. What did you say?
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, right? So wait, can you just say that part real quick again? You said that, how were you proving that this could correlate, he could actually use this higher potency of chi in his techniques? How'd you sort of answer that?
Oh, I was saying power is going to be used in a combat sense here, since the entire context of the whole series is martial arts. Great power awaits Po in a martial arts sense, and whatever training Oogway did that granted him that same great power is going to have a 1-to-1 correlation with his combat ability. It's going to affect how we fight. We fight a lot better.
So this is okay. So what Skat did, if I'm not mistaken, is Skat's argument was essentially that, okay, this idea of it being like chi correlating to this martial arts, whatever, yeah, it's cool, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all these martial arts are sort of, how do I say this, in combative sense. That's his whole argument. That not everything about that. That's what his point. Skat, was that your point or no? Or am I like misunderstanding your point?
Yeah,
Skat,
no, it was my point. It was my point.
He's because essentially his whole argument, Gizbob, is that okay, chi can go up, but chi can possibly be derivative into multiple different things, not necessarily just combative ability. So Oogway increasing in chi doesn't necessarily mean his techniques that he has were now amplified. And then, if I'm not mistaken, what you just said is you said, oh, chi correlates to combative strength, so therefore his techniques would increase. But that's sort of what he was putting into question is why would it be in combative strength likely as opposed to other things it can derive to in terms of martial arts or whatever else it is that she can go into.
That's what we didn't give any other things that she could go into. We just asked why it was martial arts, but that's why we got into what power meant in this context. I said power as it's being used to describe this sort of training, and the results of said training are in reference to martial arts and combat. So power is being used in that sense. The result of this training is power, greater power, then it makes you stronger. It's pretty simple.
And Skat, what'd you say in response to that?
I didn't even listen. What did you say, sorry?
He said that his response to you asking why it's necessarily in terms of combative ability, he said that, oh, it's because chi within Kung Fu Panda is used to sort of push forth martial arts, and then the idea of martial arts being combative, and then that would just prove that chi would correlate to combative ability. What'd you say to that?
Chi is used for combat. Is that what he said? Like,
yeah, so okay. He's saying that because chi is a higher form of chi mastery is used to progress yourself in martial arts, right? He's saying that if Oogway progressed himself in chi, he was then progressing himself in martial arts, therefore combative ability. What was your response to
that? Okay, so I responded to this by saying, Oogway wasn't training for combat ability, and I don't believe this would be the case, as Chi doesn't advocate for strength in the way Oogway was training for it. Like, Chi can be used to bloom flowers and shit. Like, it can make someone, like, as he said, it's verbatim stated to be greater power, but like this power doesn't have to correlate to combat ability, rather just like power
so you
that
just
no one
put it
else
into
can do.
question again? Because I don't remember you bringing up the flower example. Like, I don't remember you bringing that up. I do remember you saying power can just be correlative to other things. You just didn't necessarily say the flower part. So Gizbob, from what I'm getting from that, right, is I don't like, from what I'm understanding, I don't hear a likelihood increasing argument from you, because at that point in time, what he's doing is questioning whether your evidence is actually making this thing likely the case, right? But you just sort of just repeated the same thing. I'm not seeing where the likelihood increasing argument is, unless I'm missing something in your argument.
Well, yeah, we went over the definition of power and what it meant. He was trying to say power could be in reference to something else. I said, no, it's probably in reference to martial arts. And he didn't really attack it. That's why we got into the whole definition of power to begin with, and I contextualized it using the rest of the series.
I didn't attack it because it didn't really attack what I was
he said, Gizbob. That's where he said that in the context, right? Oogway was this the part he did say. He didn't say the flower part, but he did say Oogway, the way he was training, just chilling in a cave, right? Increasing chi. That doesn't necessarily mean, like, that doesn't have to be necessarily a combative thing, right? He can be increasing his chi, right? The potency of the chi, right? But it's in a way that doesn't necessarily have to be combative, which is still the question he's asking. Why is it likely combative? You saying that this power he's gaining, which Skat is putting into question, okay, whether is this combative or not, then you're saying, oh, power, the definition is within this context is combative, right? Which is what's in question. And you're just saying, oh, this is the definition, so therefore it's likely, right? Is not really an argument, because that's what he's putting into question. What does this power do? Well, what is this power that's increasing? Is it combative or is it not combative? And then your argument is that it is combative, which I still, once again, haven't heard a likelihood increasing argument for, other than you saying, oh, the definition of combative is this, but that's what he's putting into question within this context because of the way Oogway was training.
Yeah, that ties back into the Poe thing. Poe's whole goal, I go over this in the recording, back at it if you want to. Poe's whole goal is to get stronger there. Shifu's talking to him about how to get...
Wait, can you repeat that? You cut out.
My audio cut out completely. So Poe's whole goal there is to get stronger in a combat sense. It's what him and Shifu are talking about. Great power in a combat sense. Poe wants to get stronger. Shifu's talking to him about it. Says if you do what Oogway did or follow the same kind of steps that Oogway took to master Chi, then great power awaits you. That power, again, is going to be contextualized by the conversation he's having with Shifu, which is the goal of getting stronger, which I kind of go over in the recording.
And what was your response to that, Skat?
He said the goal of Oogway was to get stronger.
He said, okay, so no, he's saying that the conversation between Shifu and Poe was of how Poe can get stronger in a combative sense. And then he's saying that because of that, the definition of power within that concept is more than likely referential to combative ability. So what's your argument? Well, did you present an argument towards that or no?
I can't even remember him saying that at all, if I'm being honest. I actually don't. I don't remember him saying it was referring to combat ability. What he actually said, he said it was referring to great power. What you just discussed with him, like that's what he said. He did not say combat ability. That it's just the same argument as before, but now he's saying combat ability because I do not remember.
So great. So I just have to go over rec and see whether Gizbob said whether the context of the conversation was in a combative sense or not. If Gizbob did say that, then I guess Gizbob won the debate. If he didn't say that, then Skat won the debate. I'll just go over rec.
I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, I did. Hold on. What's his name? Anyone from that team? Can we run it right now?